Hey everybody, this is Theokinawakid'S here, and today I'm going to talk to you about the new Netflix series by Craig McCracken, the creator of Pop-Up Girls, Wander Over Yonder, and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Kid Cosmic. So Kid Cosmic basically centers around a guy named Kid, or kid named Kid, get it? Who basically lives in the middle of nowhere in this more or less glorified truck stop called Oasis, where somewhere in the Southwest, where he basically is this huge comic book nerd, very much a kid who grew up watching superheroes and like reading comic books and video games, all that stuff. He lives with his grandfather, who's basically the local repairman of the truck stop, named Papa G, who more or less takes care of him after his parents died of a tragic death. And more or less, while in hanging out, basically just doing kid stuff, alien ship crash lands near the actual truck stop, which basically has essentially like five multicolored stones, each one possessing superpower. So the green stone, a power basically grants telekinesis. The purple power, stone power grants like teleportation, portal manipulation. The blue power stone grants you size manipulation. The yellow power stone grants you duplication abilities or replication abilities, and the actual redstone power gives you future sight. So with that being said, no one really knows where these came from, but a lot of the various alien races of the world are looking for them because these are super powerful stones that more or less grants the abilities and superpowers to anyone who wields them. So with that being said, Kid basically growing up with comic books, he's like, hey, I'm gonna be a superhero. I'm gonna be literally a superhero, form my own superhero team, and we're gonna save the world from alien threats. So with that being said, he gathers pretty much like all the actual people he basically could find, which is pretty interesting. It includes Papa G, his grandfather. He has the Yellowstone of duplication. Joe, the waitress, head of the Oasis, the waitress at the Oasis diner, basically gets the teleportation portal manipulation stone, the purple one. The actual there's a little girl who I forget the name of. Like Nina, I think. Yeah, Nina. She gets the size manipulation stone, the blue one, and to the sandwich, the actual name of the cat, Kid's cat. He basically gets the precognition stone, and Kid himself gets the telekinesis, allowing him to fly. So with that being said, they're just trying to figure out how the stones work, hide from the locals, mainly, Joe's mom, who's the owner of the diner, and as well as, the head waitress. And also trying to figure out, like, how to stop alien threats from invading Earth. Along the way, one of the first aliens they tried to invade Earth was a rather sassy, sort of sarcastic, sort of negative, sort of thinking alien named Chuck. They named him Chuck, mainly because his real name is hard to pronounce in human tongue. So with that being said, Chuck more or less is kind of like their captive. So they split him in half accidentally using the portal manipulation abilities, and they kind of keep him as sort of like an informant of all the other races and all the invasions and stuff. And more or less, later down the line, we get to see them form a team, kick some butt, stop some alien invasions along the way. And of course, they kind of comes to a head where basically the United States government finds out. They're kind of like, okay, so we're not going to just barge into this place with these superpowered locals. So we just got to see how these powers work, spy on them for a bit, and then take over the town. So the G-Men, or basically, the Men in Black, and the guy, a local patron of the Oasis diner, who's just this really burly biker dude, who's really called the G-Man in this, and the guys in the Men in Black, literally show up and took over the joint, and basically like, you know what? And kind of like how basically to the movie going forward, the main message is that you don't have to have superpowers to be helpful or be a hero. You just have to willing to live in the helping hand, and basically heroes help, not hit. That's the thing. It doesn't all have to be brute force or just actually trying to save the day by being the bad guys. It's always about lending a helping hand to those who need it. So that's what true heroism is. And also, not to mention the fact that it always goes in that message where basically the G-Man takes over the rings, take over the town, and they kind of get governmentally sanctioned superheroes to stop alien threats. So with that being said, Kid, along the way using his improvisation skills, reading comic books, kind of realizes that, okay, these new group of aliens shows up, similar powers to the rings, and then people, he realizes that Kid kind of realizes that, oh shit, these guys, these power stones, these stones of power belong to these guys. And they're not bad guys, they're actually the good guys. So, and of course, in alien invasion story, it turns out, humans are the real bad guys, and mainly the government. So the government is hey, here's the thing, the G-Man himself, the biker dude, he's basically look, Kid, I know that you're trying to be the hero on all this, but here's the thing. Leave it to the professionals, and here's the thing. We're always the butt of the joke when it comes to superhero stuff, space stuff. Oh, Earth is just a backwater planet. Oh, it's just a truck-stopping universe. Oh, it's just the boonies of the galaxy. Literally, this G-Man, he's hey, we're basically, hold on a second. My dog's just hankering for some attention. Ooh, that was close, man. So, basically, the G-Man is kind of the main villain here in this first arc. And basically it's look, we're always the butt of the joke. Everybody calls humans the joke of the universe. I'm sick and tired of that. Which, I like the fact that this series... Sorry if this seems kind of, So, I always like that this series kind of delves into, superhero sci-fi tropes, and always portrayals of different sci-fi themes, humans in sci-fi, aliens in sci-fi, and deconstructing misconceptions, and sort of the various tropes of sci-fi, so I'm glad for that. So, Kid, realizing that the good guys are really the aliens, and the bad guys are the G-Men, they pretty much decide... He basically decided to get the team back together because, they got them all locked down, essentially. And, convince, the actual G-Men to stop fighting with the aliens and just give the stones back to them. Which they do eventually, and basically, with the little help of Kid and the local heroes, they managed to do it. Hold a second. This is not the time nor the place. So, with that being said... that's sort of the main story of the first season. And of course, the aliens are okay, thanks for giving our stones back. Added bonus, we get to know a little bit more about the stones. As in, these are kind of like kryptonites, more or less. And they're not weaknesses, but these are the last remnants of these 5 aliens' home world. Each one is the last of their race. Because an all-consuming Galactus-like threat... is destroying planets left and right. And of course, basically, they're trying to actually save as much as their home world as they can, so these stones are all that is left. These 5 power stones, they're all that's left of their home worlds. And each one grants the abilities of their respective species to their wielders. So basically, they came from alien races that have supernatural abilities, and the stones have the genetic code of said species. So it's a little bit of hello. It's a little bit of Ben 10 meets Green Lantern meets Superman, which I like. Which is a homage to all these space adventure series, and sci-fi stories, which I love. And of course, they kind of all have a big party at the diner. And of course, the G-Man's man, I can't believe this shit. No. He's literally livid about this. So, he's out. So, he's out of the picture. So, basically, 6 months later, everything's returned back to normal. There's well, we have fun. I mean, we had superpowers for a bit, but it's alright. We won't need them. And then alien queen from the teleportation, you know, the aliens with the portal powers, you know, she shows up out of nowhere. It's like, oh crap. Like, I forget the name of the Galactus-like threat, so I'm just gonna call it Galactus. It's like, oh crap, Galactus just killed all the team, man. What the hell? So she's like, oh shit, guys, we need your help again. It's like, oh yeah, fun little Easter egg, and here's a spoiler. There's not 5, but 13 stones. 13 stones of power. Each one granting a special ability. It's like, holy crap, 13? That's way awesome! So, with that being said, you know, the Queen John, that's her name, the alien with the teleportation powers, yeah, can't talk today, she's like, okay, hey, Kid Cosmic and Local Heroes, can you help us again? Because, yeah, we need your help. Galactus just ate all of us. Like, I'm the last survivor now. So, fuck, we need to do something. So, basically, hey, what can we do? We don't even have any powers. And then she uses the last of her strength, like, yo, let me do something real quick. And then more or less, she teleported the whole truck stop town into space. And now, Season 2 is called Kid Cosmic and the Intergalactic Truck Stop. And now they gotta face off against Galactus. More or less. So, that's the story, and I love this series. I love this series because it's a great sci-fi adventure while also teaching life lessons about actually being helpful without going, you know, without having, no, be helpful even though you don't have superpowers, or just help out a lending hand and stuff. So, it's a great message. I love Craig McCracken's work. I love this series. Also, not to mention that all the characters are great. All the characters are just amazing, fun characters. And I just love this town of Oasis. And yeah, this show is like one of my new favorites. So 2021 looks really good right now. So yeah, that's my review of Kid Cosmic. So this has been the Okinawa Kid, and this is me signing out.